I'm starting to run out of words that resilient. I'm gonna have to get a thesaurus, but that's what this group has become. Our locker room is really a cool place to be right now. The halftime locker room was amazing. The way they were talking to each other, the way they were taking coaching, and then making the adjustments. So, big win for so many reasons, and because of so many factors. Does look like Sam's okay. We're going to get home and let the doctors look at her, but she was able to come back. I don't know if they showed it on TV, but she was able to come back and join us on the bench. So overall, an unbelievable day, but obviously the second half was about as good as we've played probably maybe all year, but specifically the last couple of weeks. So,
Paul.
Well, then, is there one or two things that stuck out about that second half? What really was the linchpin, you think?
Well, I think we contested their shots a little bit more. The problem wasn't that Haley Frank made 4 threes in the first half, is that she got 7, so we had to cut that down. Then I also thought we had 9 turnovers in the first half, which against them to me, because we only had 2 the last time, which was, listen, I didn't go in telling our kids, you only get 2 turnovers today. I did not do that, but we said, let's just cut those in half. Let's treat this like a 42 possession game. It doesn't matter what happens the first 2 or 3 possessions. I thought there was just the calmness and some relaxation, but technically, coach on offense, really implored him to make better decisions with the ball, not to panic. We got 9 offensive rebounds, and I think we turned it over like 4 times after we got those. Cut those down. Let's make Haley Frank's catch and shoot threes either further out or more contested, which I think we did. Let's give a little bit more help, away from the ball. We always want to try to make Mama Dembele their best player, and she was again today, and that's fine. But that meant Asia Blackwell was having to play in a crowd, and it meant that Troop and Frank maybe didn't get as many clean looks as they did. So there was a little adjustment, but I just think our kids played better.
Did you feel like it was more defense than offense?
No, I thought it was both sides. I mean, it looks defensive because we held them to 30. Yeah. They missed some shots too that were around the basket. But I do think we did contest. I'm going to go back. I'll have to go back and look at it. But I thought our offense was really, really good in the second half, started really picking them apart, getting matchups that we wanted. We valued the ball. I thought Jersey Wolfenbarger was as aggressive offensively as she has been, since she's been in a Razorback uniform. So I think it was a combination of both offense and defense.
And I'll throw this out. Was there any reason why Aaron did not play today?
Nope. It's just, I felt like, we may have rushed her back a little too early, just based on performance. I've told her that let's go to practice. Let's get this right in practice, not to put you in a situation maybe that you aren't ready for yet, because she's done some things that she doesn't normally do with her. So, and Emory played great last game. So it was give Emory that first shot, and then Emory played good again. So nothing, Aaron is still important to what we're doing, obviously, but she's going to have to make sure in practice that she gets back to where she was prior to the injury. I don't want to feel like we've rushed her back whatsoever.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Coach, you talk about the resilience. I mean, to overcome what you did Thursday, short turnaround, get Samara back, and for her to come out and produce the way she did, like you said, you're running out of words, but you're running out of different ways to win. You're winning in different ways.
Yeah, it's such a good word that you use it, but I am out of words for it because they've ceased to surprise us and amaze me. Like, because we have 6 games in 14 days and the possibility of 11 games in 21 days, we haven't been practicing very much. And that is a scary place to be as a coach. The kids love it. And I may, again, be learning a valuable lesson in that having them fresh is more important than having them prepared. So I've got to do a better job. And I know Coach Todd and I are always talking about that, offensive and defensive, and Lacey with the inbounds plays. How can we best prepare them without taxing their legs? But I do believe, and I'm not saying it because it's what we do, but I think part of that resiliency comes from having their legs. It's the end of February, and a lot of these teams are still practicing, 2.5. I see it when they come to our gym and they do 2.5-hour shoot-arounds. We didn't take a shoot-around today. We let them sleep. We didn't even come to this gym yesterday. We stayed home, rested. And so I do believe, I am convinced that the kids' resiliency comes from the fact that they feel good about each other. They have their academics are in line because they've got a little extra time. Their relationships are good. And I think as a result, they can find that second gear in the second half. Until somebody proves it differently, I'm going to keep rolling with that. Nice backdrop, by the way. You're coming along.
Yeah, thank you. So moving forward, is this going to be a game by game deal where you're not going to practice as much as long as they're producing on the court, or are you just going to play it by ear?
No, it's in the plan. We kind of staked it out when we looked at what we had coming and said, this has got to be a recovery day. I don't care if we do play the next day. We've got to, there's nothing we can possibly do if they don't have their legs to go out and perform. So I've talked to my WNBA friends and some NBA people that I trust about some things we can do. And we're going to keep doing that down the stretch. Today was day one of that little stretch. So I hope it has some compounding effect down the stretch here. We've got a really important set of games coming, but it'll definitely continue to be a common theme and, something we talk about. And a lot of that comes back on the kids on how much they can learn without having to be out there doing it. We have a term. You can have all the mottos you want and all the themes you want taped to your locker room, but we always say every rep is your rep. So if you can get where you need to get without physically having to do it 10 times, you only have to do it 5 times. That helps everybody. So hopefully every rep will be everybody's rep, and we can continue to be sharp and playing our best at the right time of the year.
I'll finish up with this. Talk about Sasha. Clearly she played the other night, but was not 100%. For her to come out again and perform the way she did, I mean, just got to talk about her. And again, resilience is a word we can beat like a dead horse, but she was really resilient today.
Yeah, and with her is so gutty. Like, it's just, I got you, coach. I'm not 100%, but I'm going to do my very best. She came and said those actual words to me. Coach, I just want you to know I'm not 100%, but I am going to do my and you just melt as a coach and you go, because you can't say a word. I mean, I was choked up. You're going to get that out of her. She had an unbelievably tough matchup. Asia Blackwell's one. She is climbing up every WNBA's mock board. You'll never see it because none of those coaches are talking about it because they all want to draft her. You'll never see her name on one of those mock boards because none of them are telling anybody, but we're all talking to those coaches about her. But for Sasha to do what she did against her and then give us a lift offensively, so good to see her make a couple threes. We've got all kinds of confidence in her, but does not cease to amaze me how passionate that kid is about being a Razorback.
Russell.
Coach, what can you say about Amber Ramirez? 25 again, 9 rebounds after not scoring a point in that first quarter there.
Again, I can't wait to get her on my staff in some shape, form, or fashion because she's going to be equally as good a coach as she is a player. But just how she goes about doing it, it's not, hey, I need this shot, I need some touches. Hey, we need to run this. She knew the game was going to come to her. She was patient. She did some other things. She was more mad at herself for giving up the first two baskets of the game to Dembele than she was anything. I knew that when Amber decided to come back, she was making a sacrifice because we said to her, you're going to be the only super senior coming back because other people are doing other things. You're going to have to take these young kids and your role is going to be so hard. Never batted an eye. And for her to then get us going offensively too, I thought that shot at the end of the third quarter was such a momentum, like we got it. And then from that point on, just she is as much as like having a coach out there on the floor as we've had at Arkansas. She sees things, she says things, she talks to her teammates, but continue to perform. And there's people that can talk about it, but it's hard to go out there and continuously and consistently perform at the level she has for the last 12 games. Once we got it, are we 6-6? Her, yeah, 6-5. Her SEC season, man, has really been one. We'll have to go back. Tolfree had a really, really good year. Obviously, Chelsea had some really good years, but The way Amber's going about doing it, just it's a lot of fun to be around.
Big
her.
game is finally here as we hit Super Sunday with the last game of the football season. From scored, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all things NFL betting in 2022. And with the new year comes a new updated desktop and mobile website. Sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV. And it's not just football. BetOnline's basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC odds coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.